Hi guys, yes, I'm back with another video. As you can see, it is a tier list. Yes, I love doing these videos. It has been quite a while since I've left on a tier list. I'm going to try and make these a bit more common on the channel, ranging different genres and TV shows and games and stuff like that. Uh, in between wrestling videos. So yeah, sorry I've been gone for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I've just had been quite busy and just haven't had a lot of time to sit down, do a video and edit vice versa. So sorry if it's been a little while, but I'm back. So I just thought kill some time and to do something I'm very passionate about. Yes, do a good old fashioned tier list on Game of Thrones. Yes, all 8 seasons and House of the Dragon, the first season of that too. Now, Game of Thrones is a show I've been an absolute massive fan of since 2013 when I first started watching it. I know it's been out since 2011, but that's when I got into it, 2013, so about 10 years. Huge fan of the show, love House of the Dragon, and I just thought, just to do a nice good video, let's just do a nice tier list grading all 8 seasons on this tier list, including, of course, House of the Dragon Season 1, which finished, what was it, last year or much earlier this year? Can't quite remember, whatever. But, so you guys, just bear in mind there will be spoilers, like some spoilers for some of the seasons when I'm talking about each season, so if you haven't watched all 8 seasons yet, or House of the Dragon, or if you're only on a few seasons, yes, do not watch this video because there will be spoilers. So yeah. So yes, let's start off then with Game of Thrones Season 1, going all the way back to 2011, where it all started. And I think we all know where Season 1 is going to go. Boom, S tier. Yeah, Season 1's fantastic. One of my favourite seasons. I think most people will argue, well, most people will not argue, say that seasons 1 to 4 is when Game of Thrones was in its peak, in the prime. Those are the best 4 seasons in terms of writing, characters, story, drama, violence, intrigue. It's just everything. It was just sublime perfection, chef's kiss. There was hardly any down points with the first 4 seasons. Season 1, though, yeah, you got Sean Bean as Ned Stark, you got Robert Baratheon, you got Cersei. It just introduces us to this grand world of Westeros. Um, you've got the whole intrigue of the court with the Lannisters potentially plotting against the crown. You've got Sean Bean as pretty much the lead of season 1 as Ned Stark, as the Hand of the King. You've got, like I said, Robert Baratheon, great character. Everyone's just introduced into this. You've got Daenerys. You've got all the different plot lines going on all over the world. It's just fantastic. And while it is probably one of the lowest seasons in terms of action, there's only like a few action scenes taking place throughout the season. I think the political intrigue and the storytelling and the characters and the scripts just pull it through. It's so well done. And of course, with the big shocking death with Ned Stark getting beheaded at the end, or in episode 9, with the shocking betrayal and all that, where he gets framed, and it was just heartbreaking. And it shows you that no one is safe. And it was the first big major death of the series, showing you no one is safe in Westeros. All your favorite characters you think are safe, nope, anyone can get killed off at a moment's notice. So yeah, season 1, mwah, S tier, and season 2, S tier. I think we all know where this is going. Yeah, season 2 just carried on where season 1 left off, and kept with the amazing writing. The War of the Five Kings began, of course, with the North pissed off, very pissed off that they beheaded Ned Stark, so Robb goes to war against the Lannisters to avenge his father's death. Like I said, the War of the Five Kings. So you've got the others with the Greyjoys, and you've got the whole Theon's whole storyline taking Winterfell. So a lot happens in season 2. It introduces Stannis Baratheon into the fold, and of course his big attempt to take King's Landing with the big battle in episode 9, the Battle of Blackwater Bay. That was an amazing episode. You've got Joffrey as king. Season 2, his first full season as king, and it's just one of the most hated characters of all time. What else happens in season 2? You've got Jon beyond the wall, meeting the wildlings, that all happening. It's just a great season. And of course, Tyrion as Hand of the King, just all this political intrigues, and does a much better job of it than Ned Stark did. And I think it was just such a well done season. Again, fantastic writing. I can't think of any negatives for season 2. None. It was just fantastic. 10 perfect episodes, just like season 1. And moving on to season 3 of Game of Thrones. Yeah, yes, arguably one of the best seasons. A lot of people put season 3 as their top season. For me, it's probably top 3 season 3. But yeah, just another great season. Continuing Robb's war against the Lannisters. You've got Tywin as Hand of the King now. Tywin Lannister. He's one of my favorite characters, played by the great Charles Dance. It's just more of a continuation of the War of Five Kings, really, from season 2. We've got the heartbreaking Red Wedding, episode 9, Reigns of Castamere. Just the Red Wedding's one of the most heartbreaking, shocking things in TV history when all Starks get betrayed. Robin, Catelyn, and the Freys and Boltons betray them and side with the Lannisters. It was just heartbreaking to watch the Red Wedding. You've got Daenerys continuing to do her thing in Essos, liberating all the cities, becoming like the hero of Slavers Bay, liberating all the slaves. The dragons are getting bigger and bigger. Of course, I didn't even mention the dragons. Of course, the dragons, when you see at the end of season 1, dragons are getting bigger and bigger. What else happens in season 3? More stuff with Jon up beyond the wall and the wildlings. It was just a continuation of what we've seen in season 2, but I think it did just as good of a job. And the Red Wedding just pushes it right up there because that was one of the most shocking moments in TV history, without a doubt. Then on to season 4 of Game of Thrones, which gets another S tier. Season 4 is my personal favourite season. I think a lot of Game of Thrones fans have it as their best season, as their favourite season. Just so good, season 4. Where to start? You've got Oberyn in the fold, Pedro Pascal. This was like his first big break. I think this is when Pedro Pascal started to get noticed as an actor when he was as Oberyn Martell. He did a fantastic job. You've got Tyrion's trial, of course, Joffrey getting poisoned in episode 2, the Purple Wedding, OMG, something we'd all waited 3 seasons for, to get that little arsehole to get what was coming to him. Joffrey gets poisoned in episode 2, and there's a big trial because Tyrion gets framed when he didn't do it, and there's a big trial for poor Tyrion, so he's just locked up for most of the season. You've got the Mountain versus the Viper, or Oberyn versus the Mountain in episode 8. That was badass. Poor Oberyn. You've got the big battle on the wall when the wildlings invade the wall, and you got a battle at Castle Black. That was badass. And episode 10, where Tyrion shoots Tywin on the toilet and then escapes. So we've got 2 big deaths in season 4, Tywin and Joffrey. But it's not just the stuff in that. There's other stuff in season 4 that I really liked. It continues Daenerys' storyline. I think Daenerys' storyline really got good in season 4 when she's continuing liberating the free cities. Well, the slave-owned cities, but she's liberating them all. What else can I say about season 4? I'm trying to think off memory. I'm trying to rush through this. I'm sure there's tons of stuff I'm missing out. If I talked about each season and hold this video, it'd be like hours long. Of course, Arya, I haven't even mentioned Arya. Her whole journey with the Mountain from season 3 and 4 actually continues that, but then it ends with a big fight with Brienne at the end, and she abandons the Mountain to go off to Bravos. Just the first 4 seasons are just perfection. Easily the best 4 seasons of TV I've ever seen. And Game of Thrones season 1 to 4 is just perfect TV. And then seasons 5 to 8 is when things started to go, not completely downhill, but just not as good. I'll get there. Then Game of Thrones season 5. Season 5 is a tricky one, man, because it was definitely a bit of a dip, because it was a very slow burn season. Not a whole lot happens, apart from maybe the final few episodes. Definitely the weakest season out of, if you compare them to the first 4. Season 5 is gonna get a B. Season 5 of Game of Thrones. It's good. It's nowhere near the quality of the first 4 seasons, but it's still good. We've got a lot of characters meeting other characters in this season, like Tyrion and Varys go off to Essos to meet Daenerys. That was a cool scene. And Tyrion starts to advise Daenerys on how to take the Seven Kingdoms, stuff like that. She starts being her advisor. What else in season 5 happens? You've got Cersei and the High Sparrow storyline. That was really cool. When she gets all blows up in the face towards the end, and she takes the Walk of Atonement. Shame. That was a badass moment. Poor Cersei. You've got Hardhome in season 5. This is the first season when you really start to see how big of a threat the White Walkers is. When the Night King just does his iconic raising all the dead at Hardhome. Like, oh god, oh my god, how are they going to beat that? That's when the White Walkers really become a threat, because you just get little glimpses of them in the first 4 seasons, but then season 5 is when you get, oh my god, what a massive threat they are, until that got completely flushed down the toilet in season 8. But yeah, it's just a lot of episodes felt really like Dawn I wasn't a big fan of Dawn. That just very meh storyline. The Sand Snakes, meh. There were just quite a few episodes that just felt like filler episodes. It felt very much like a filler season just to kill time ahead of some really big things that were coming in season 6. So yeah, it's not a bad season, not by any means, but it's definitely not up there. So I'd say same Game of Thrones season 5 gets a B, which is just very good, very good. Not disappointing or bad, but just not quite S tier. Then Game of Thrones season 6. So Game of Thrones season 6, very similar to 5, quite slow, quite plodding. But then I think the final 2 episodes are absolutely incredible. So just because of how good episode 9 and 10 were for season 6, boom, it gets A tier. Fantastic. The Battle of the Bastards for the start, one of the greatest episodes in TV you'll ever see, between Ramsay and Jon. OMG, it was just amazing. The finale with Daenerys, Cersei just blows up the crypt. She kills all of her opponents. She's just a master plan, and she becomes the queen. OMG, because of course Tommen was the king from season 5 and 6. Arya, her whole stuff, like another thing down point from season 5, Arya's stuff in season 5 with the whole faceless man was a bit meh, but I think it became a lot more interesting in season 6 when she's blind, but then she gets a vision back and she has to fight off that one assassin, and she's like, a girl's name is Arya Stark, and she's going back home. That was great. I just really liked season 6, yeah, but like it was a bit slow at the beginning, but then just because of how good the final 2 episodes were and other storylines, because it brought back the Hound, he was great. Um, yeah, I really, really enjoyed season 6, and it brought back Bran as well, even though Bran's storyline was one of the weakest, you could say, of the entire Game of Thrones saga. I think it got a bit interesting in season 6 when he becomes the Three-Eyed Raven and he sees how he's tired with the Night King and all that, the big battle underneath the tree when the Night King and his wights invade and hold the door, hold the door. poor Hodor, that was heartbreaking. So yeah, but season 6, yeah, A tier for me. And then season 7. Now, season 7's a tricky one because I think a lot of fans will say this is when Game of Thrones started to go a little bit downhill. Well, so first off, it was only 7 episodes, season 7, which I think was too short. Why couldn't they still do 10? Even though some of the episodes were like, 70, 80 minutes long. Season 7, it's going to get B. I know some people might put it a bit higher, but for me, yeah, season 7 in terms of action, probably one of the best seasons in terms of action. But I think the storytelling, the character dramas, and it started to go a bit downhill in favour of action. Like the character development was non-existent for season 7. And I know by that point we'd know a lot of the characters, but for me it just started to feel a bit too rushed. Season 8, for 7 episodes, and while there were some really good episodes, when Daenerys just absolutely wipes out the Lannisters, because of course it's the season when Daenerys lands in Westeros and she can start her campaign to take the Iron Throne from the Lannisters, and we get a bit of a war between those two for a few episodes until the Night King shows up beyond the wall, and realize they have to all got to team up to face the Night King because he's the bigger threat. But and yeah, there was, like I said, so the first episode was it episode 4? Yeah, and Daenerys just wipes out a big chunk of the Lannister army. We get that amazing battle with the Dothraki charging into the Lannisters. That was amazing. We get the battle beyond the wall when they want to go and bring back a White to show proof to the Lannisters that we need to stop fighting and face the Night King. That was great. And the Night King shoots down one of the Daenerys' dragons. Oh! And the finale was good too, where they all had a big meeting, like a big council of everyone saying we've got to face the night of the White Walkers together, otherwise we're all going to die. We can forget this petty squabble for the Iron Throne, and that was good. So, but for me, I didn't like how it was only 7 episodes, and yeah, there was a lot of plot holes I think in season 7. But just one character's there, and one minute he's there. It was just they just fast traveled too quickly, and it just had to lose a bit of logic in my opinion. But still, it's a good season. It is a good Game of Thrones season. But it just doesn't quite get up there for me compared to the script and storytelling of the first 4 seasons or season 6. And then Game of Thrones season 8. I think we all know where this is going. Hang on. Yeah, I think most Game of Thrones fans will agree with me there. Jesus. Whoa. 4 years on, I still get annoyed with how much they dropped the ball with season 8. Oh, 4 years on, it still hurts. 7 years, 7 great seasons, and this was the payoff we got. 6 episodes, rushed, character arcs ruined. The Night King and the Army of the Dead, they get beat in 1 episode after so much build. Arya killing the Night King. It's just, oh god. And then when they get to King's Landing, Daenerys just burns King's Landing to the ground. She just goes Mad Queen like that. It's so many character arcs ruined. Jon being a Targaryen meant absolutely nothing. He just gets sent back to the wall like nothing ever happened. It was just Bran becomes the new king. WTF? I could go on and on and on about how much I hated season 8. They ruined it. Apparently HBO offered D&D to do 10 episodes, to do a season 9, to do a season 10, but they said no, we can wrap this up in 6 big episodes. And could they fuck? It was so bad. Other Game of Thrones actors, there's a video saying the Game of Thrones cast hated it. Like, you could see them when they're getting interviewed. They're like, yeah, it was a good season. Yeah. You could tell how much they hated it. There was a script of Varys, the actor who played Varys, reading it, and when he gets killed off, he was like the cast did not like it. It was so disappointing. I remember Charles Dance, the actor who played Tywin, got interviewed, and he went, "It's not how I would have done it to write Tywin. There was a petition. Over 1 million fans signed a petition to get it rewritten. When over 1 million fans signed a petition to rewrite the season, you know you've done something wrong." Oh man, oh man, yeah. It's 4 years on. It still hurts. We got 7 amazing seasons, and that just. But then House of the Dragon. Let's continue that. So we got, at least we got to wash the taste out of our mouth when they brought back Game of Thrones with a prequel series set 200 years before Game of Thrones. Yes, all about like the Targaryens when they were the kings. And House of the Dragon season 1 is gonna get A tier. Yeah, it's gonna get A. Really good House of the Dragon season 1. It was such a breath of fresh air after season 8. I absolutely loved it. I'll just get rid of C tier because nothing went in C tier. Like I said, yes, it's set 200 years before Game of Thrones when the Targaryens were ruling everything alongside the Hightowers and the Valyrians. It's just fantastic. It was a reminder of the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. The script was amazing. I think it was a brand new set of writers. D&D didn't come back to redo it. Thank God for that. I thought Matt Smith was great as Daemon Targaryen, Paddy Considine, Viserys Targaryen. The 2 actresses that played Rhaenyra, I did a House of the Dragon review a few months back. I love it. It's really good. Well, it doesn't quite get S tier for me because I just think there were a few episodes that some fans would go, it was a bit fillery, and there were a lot of time jumps in House of the Dragon, so it does get a little bit hard to follow at some points. And I think we needed more dragons. It's called House of the Dragon, and yet their dragons only appear every now and then. And I know we're going to get a massive civil war in season 2 and 3. Dance of the Dragons, of course. So I think we're going to get a lot more in season 2, and I'm looking forward to season 2. Of course, they're filming it right now as we talk. I think season 2 is going to be huge for the Dance of the Dragons. Of course, the war between the Greens and the Blacks, the beginning of the end of the big decline of House Targaryen. That's what the show's all about. But the script was amazing. The characters were amazing. It was just such a big breath of fresh air after the dumpster fire that season 8 was. So love House of the Dragon. It gets A tier for me. Not quite S tier, but I'm sure if they can just get more dragons in, some more action scenes, alongside the amazing drama and script, then I think season 2 of House of the Dragon can absolutely be S tier. So yeah, guys, that has been my Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon season tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, obviously I know I was quite rushed in a few of my season descriptions, but if I wanted to go in depth on every single season and House of the Dragon, this video will be well over an hour long. I don't want to do a 1 hour tier list, do I? So yeah, if this video does well, or if people enjoyed it, I've quite enjoyed doing this. I might do another one, maybe Game of Thrones characters. I've seen there's loads of tier lists you can do on Game of Thrones because I'm such a mega fan. So what would your ranking be of all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon? Comment below, let me know. So thank you all for watching, guys. I'll be back with a video this Saturday. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all soon.